If the residential real estate inventory continues to rise during the holiday season, is the real estate market going to crash? I'm Eric Engelbert with Orange County Real Estate, and today we're going to look at the real estate data for the last 7 days here in Orange County and also in the United States. So CoreLogic foreclosure data just came out, and it said that 2.8% of homes in the US are in foreclosure, and that is down from 4% at the same time last year. So record lows of the amount of foreclosures and even delinquencies. I think there was a stat recently that 80% of the homeowners have refinanced to rates under 4% over the last 3 years. So those people are in great shape. They're probably not gonna go through the foreclosure process, but rather if they do find themselves out of a job and not able to afford their home, then they'll sell. Use a traditional sale instead of go through the foreclosure process. So for those people that are waiting for a real estate crash, the foreclosures are not going to cause the real estate crash. We need something else to cause it, because foreclosures are still, they did tick up slightly from last month, but they're still at all-time lows. All right, so let's jump right into the data, the inventory data. The first slide is inventory. In Orange County, our inventory just dropped down just a little bit from, it dropped down to 3,627. And then in the United States, inventory went up about 1%. That's to 577,112. Out of that 1% that it came up, 1,000 of those homes were in Texas. So Texas's inventory is increasing a lot. Their days on market are increasing. The price reductions for the homes that are listed are increasing. About 60% of those listed have price reductions. So the Texas market is interesting. That place looks like, or Texas looks like it may lose value more than some other markets just because all this interesting things going on there. A lot of new construction homes came to the market recently too. And we know that new construction home sales have been way down. So that's another thing that's going to affect the market there. So we're going to keep an eye on Texas. But here in Orange County, we dropped down, and that's what's supposed to happen during this time of year, during the holidays. The inventory is supposed to go down. So the next line is under contracts and pendings. We're down a little bit from last week to 1,587. And then OC new listings, including coming soon, we had 502 new listings in the last 7 days. So sellers haven't quite pulled back as much as the buyers have. Obviously, buyers are pulling back a little bit, but sellers are still out there putting their houses on the market, which is keeping our inventory here pretty flat when normally it drops. Based on the data, which we'll see on the next slide, which is days on market, I added another line this week, which is the amount of sold properties in the last 7 days. It's 349. So I'm going to start keeping track of that, see how that changes, and we'll see what the hottest months are, obviously in the spring market, but we'll have some comparable numbers to watch there. The other thing is the data on the days on market. It's still considered a seller's market, but because buyers have pulled back so much, I feel like buyers that are pre-approved and ready to purchase, they have a lot more negotiating power at the negotiating table with sellers, just because there's so few buyers out there. But the days on market are still suggesting that it's a seller's market, because the days on market is under 80 days, under 75 days. So the first line is median days on market in Orange County. That's up 1 day to 40. The average days on market's up 1 day from 57, and then under $1 million, that's up to only 35 days. Between 1 million and 2 million is 38, and over 2 million is 58. So clean sweep there, everything went up, but again, those are still very quick. The amount of days on market is still very low, and that would suggest that it's a strong seller's market, but I feel like buyers have an advantage right now. All right, key stats: sold price versus list price. This week, homes sold for 2.8% less than the list price. Last week it was almost a 1 percentage point more. All right, immediate sales in Orange County, that has gone down to 2.6% from 5.5%, and those are homes that have accepted an offer in the first 2 days of being active. Next line, price reductions in Orange County, that stayed the same, 41%. And then US price reductions went up a little bit, 42.9%. The next line is Costa Mesa, looking at single family homes in Costa Mesa. I'm changing the first line here to the median price of new listings. I just want to keep an eye on what's happening with the new listings. So we're going to keep track of that data. Then the average days on market is 61 days. And the price reductions are at 46%, up slightly. Relisted is 5%. The relisted properties are homes that were on the market, accepted an offer, went under contract, and then fell out of escrow and went back on market, went back active. So that happens for numerous reasons, but usually it's for the loan. 2 months ago, when rates were skyrocketing, this number was over 10%, and that's because people had to requalify at new rates. They didn't lock something in, and then when they jumped up, above 5.5%, people were canceling their offer to purchase, and a lot of times it was because they weren't getting the loan that they wanted. Okay, the condos in Orange County, the median price of new listings, $799. That's a new stat that we're going to keep track of. And then average days on market went down to 43. Price reductions also went down, only 33%. And then there's 0% relisted in Costa Mesa for the condos. All right, so normally, like I said, the inventory drops during this time. So we're going to keep an eye on that and see what happens. It will be interesting to see, if what that does to home values if the inventory increases. It looks like we're on pace, for a normal winter here in Orange County. Also, the median price of new listings usually goes down during the holiday season too, so we're going to keep an eye on that and see if that trend is normal. And then they usually spike up in January, because here in Orange County, January is like the start of the spring market. It starts way early. It's the middle of winter, but the spring market starts in January. So that's when inventory kind of goes up again, and prices, the median price, the average price of new listings goes up as well in January. So we're really interested to see what's going to happen there. All right, if you are considering buying, we feel like buyers have an advantage right now, just because there's not a lot of buyers that are approved to purchase, or that aren't scared of buying. And if you're a seller, you need to know this data, like this data for Costa Mesa. You need to know this data for your neighborhood, because it's important if you want your house to stand out. We can look at the houses that accepted an offer in the first 2 days and look at the houses that are sitting after 100 days on the market and find out what the difference is. And then you can take the good and the bad from each one and figure out how to list your property appropriately, not just on price, but the total presentation. But if you are interested in selling, please let me know and we can get you the data for your neighborhood. All right, thank you very much for watching and have a wonderful week. Bye.